Welcome back. In this video, I'm detailing Nancy Pelosi's latest big AI investment and what it means for Palantir. So Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, obviously has done very well with her investments and everyone loves to discuss them because, as we know, 100% of trades outperform when you have insider information. And I think everyone is very upset by this, that people in Congress actually get to trade stocks. But nevertheless, it's allowed, and when someone like Nancy Pelosi makes a move, it's very important to understand why. So with respect to AI, when she invests in an AI stock, why would that be important? What would that really mean? Well, it's probably meaning favorable regulations are coming and or future adoption is becoming more clear. So this is what her portfolio looks like, to the best of my understanding. I just got this screen grab from the internet, and she has outperformed pretty much every index, as I said, because once you have inside information, you know where things are going. That's why we don't see Alex Karp day trading the stock of Palantirs, because it's obviously an unfair advantage to do so. So what did Nancy Pelosi do? Well, basically, this is the move. She bought $5 million worth of the private company Databricks via an investment in a fund that owns their stock. So Databricks is a San Francisco engineering and analytics firm. Most of you will have heard of it because it is a comp for Palantir, meaning it's a competitor and also something to look towards to reflect onto Palantir's valuation, which we will be doing. We'll be generating price targets based off of this in just a moment. But if we take a closer look right here, the transaction date, it's a little delayed on the reporting, so that's why I'm just now bringing it to you. But March 4th, 2024, she invested somewhere between $1 million and $5 million in a fund that owns Databricks stock. Databricks, San Francisco engineering company based on AI technology. So let's dive a little deeper here. What is the comparison between Databricks and Palantir, and how is this at all relevant to Palantir, and how is this bullish for Palantir investors? Well, Databricks is a developer of data intelligence platforms designed to offer an open and unified platform for data and artificial intelligence sectors. So not a absolutely direct competitor to Palantir, but certainly in the same industry, and they should be trading pretty similarly. But if we look at their valuation as of the end of last year, $43 billion on revenue of $1.6 billion. That compares to Palantir. Palantir went public at $20 billion, 21. I crossed that out because they're currently trading for 51. So the equivalent comparison is Databricks is currently trading for, in the private markets, $43 billion, and Palantir on the public markets, we get updates every day, obviously, is trading for $51 billion. But they have revenue that is 40% higher with a valuation that is only 19% higher. So you see where I'm going with this. Basically, what we have here is Databricks is trading for a 27 times sales multiple. Now, what does this mean? Well, it essentially means that investors are willing to pay 27 times their trailing revenue. What does that look like for Palantir if we do the same math? Palantir is trading on the public markets for 23 times sales. A significant difference if you think about what would that mean on Palantir stock from where Databricks is trading. And then you also have to consider, because Databricks is likely going to go public sometime soon, because why else would Nancy Pelosi be buying the stock? She eventually is going to want to sell it. And I would imagine Databricks either goes public towards the end of this year or the beginning of 2025. You also have to consider, what I'm saying here is that IPOs typically see an increase of about 19% as an initial pop. Now, Palantir was a direct listing, so it didn't have as much of this pop, but I do remember a pop to above $11 or so when they listed at $10, I believe. I was following it very closely that day. So that means Databricks might IPO above 32 times sales. And so when we have Databricks trading at potentially 32 times sales, Palantir at 23, so it's a difference of 40%, so Databricks is valued 40% more than Palantir, does that really make sense? They have more than double the number of employees, which I find very shocking. And also consider Databricks founded in 2013, Palantir founded in 2003 or so. They have raised and burned through more money than Palantir. And Palantir's been around for basically twice as long. It's actually ridiculous how much more capital efficient Palantir has been. And that's not even to mention the fact that Palantir is profitable and Databricks isn't, which is, I would imagine, a major reason why they're not yet public. Of course, they would be public if they were profitable. It would be much easier to get and maintain a valuation that they are probably looking for when they do go public. And then, as we've said, Palantir's revenue is far above. So, does this make sense for Databricks to have a 40% higher valuation multiple than Palantir given these numbers? Well, probably not. Now, what does that mean, once again, for Palantir? Now that we know Databricks is going to be public soon, Nancy Pelosi's behind it, favorable regulations for the industry, and she's probably looking for a nice IPO boost given her privileged access to private markets and information, because private markets are much more illiquid, meaning that if there is favorable regulation, it's not going to get priced in as fast. So for instance, for Palantir, if there's some sort of favorable regulation for what they're doing, it's going to get priced in very quickly, whereas Databricks, they're going to have to see what the next funding round looks like, or eventually the IPO. So I think it does make sense from her perspective. But you also have to understand the fact that this quote that I have from an expert network transcript call said that from a tech standpoint, the technology is best in breed for Palantir. It destroys Snowflake. It destroys Databricks, which we're talking about in this video. The only pushback I'd ever gotten on the Palantir technology is it is too much for what we need to solve. I don't need to take a Ferrari to the grocery store. And you might be saying, oh, well, that's a Palantir salesman saying that. Well, yes, but it's a former Palantir salesman. He's no longer getting paid to say this. So it is definitely an important data point when you see what are former Palantir employees saying about the product when they're no longer affiliated with the company. He's saying Palantir's technology is far superior. So not only is Databricks 40% more valued than Palantir, it has double the employee count, worse technology, more capital inefficient, and it's not even a public company. So if Palantir gets Databricks' valuation boost, what does that look like? Well, it's $27 per share if Palantir gets Databricks' current multiple. Now, I think there's a case to be made that you could say Palantir should be worth more than Databricks multiple, given the fact that it's a superior company with superior financials and superior technology. But we'll just leave it at this because we know these multiples are pretty extreme as it is. And $32 if Palantir gets Databricks' IPO multiple that I talked about. Databricks going the IPO route will undoubtedly get a boost, and all of the people that were in it for the IPO will get to cash out with a nice payday. So what does this all mean? Well, certainly it's showing that there is very much a lot of interest in these AI stocks, and there's definitely room to expand in terms of Palantir's multiple, as crazy as it currently is. So I'd love to know what you think in the comments with respect to Nancy Pelosi's investment in this company that, by all metrics that I can see, is inferior to Palantir, and the argument that I've made that I actually think this is going to be of benefit to Palantir, her indication that she is willing to buy Databricks for 27 times sales when Palantir is a better company at 23 times sales. Love to know what you think. Until next time.